Hello, this is Vincent
and Valerie Woodard. And today on Couples Pursuit, we're going to talk about
couples therapy.
And today on Couples Pursuit, we're going to talk about
couples therapy.
Couples therapy.
Yes, couples therapy is very much needed.
Yeah.
You should go. Just joking, but seriously, a lot of couples suffer in silence, I believe, and we don't take marriage counseling seriously. And especially as a man, I can speak really, I guess, for myself, but I know in the talks with my brothers and other people that I know that marriage counseling is a thing that's kind of frowned upon, and we don't really want anybody else in our business and telling us how to treat our wives and telling us how to act like a man, and we really kind of, like just kind of shy away from that. And that's what I hear in my talks with men. What about you?
Well, marriage counseling or couples therapy, I believe most women think that, or the women that I know, most women that I know think that marriage counseling is necessary. And some things we want to talk about today is the fact that we agree that it's necessary.
Yes.
But we didn't always agree, because there was a time, as we joked in the beginning, my husband did not want to go to marriage counseling. He didn't believe that we needed couples therapy. We did do premarital counseling, which is a thing where I think some men, are more agreeable to do because it's the process to the marriage. But a lot of times women do say, well, my husband doesn't want to go. He feels like, he doesn't need anyone to tell him how to be a man. I don't need anyone in my business, as my husband said. And I think that even sometimes women don't want to go. And it may be because they're covering whatever pain is causing them to have the dysfunction in the relationship. And so that's going to be uncovered. So as we talked about last week, Vince and I have been through several things in our marriage, and there was a point where he really did not want to go to counseling.
No.
And when he was ready to go, I was so tired that I didn't want to go anymore. But we came to an agreement with the help of the Lord, and it was one of the best things we've ever done.
Yeah. Help of the Lord, all that good stuff. But it's like, this is the last straw. This is the last thing.
Oh, yeah.
And if we need at least counseling to figure out how we're gonna
parent.
Parent.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, we was like, kind of past the point of trying to heal the relationship, but we said, look, we need counseling to at least learn how to get along so we can,
still raise the children.
Our children together. Yeah. And that turned out to be a journey, and that's what we're here to talk about today, is that you have to open your mind up. Men, and I'm talking to you specifically, you have to open your mind up to whatever it takes to make your marriage work. You cannot put some things like, I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do this, and I'm a man, so that's just how it is, and don't even ask me anymore. Really, your marriage is about to fall apart, and you don't want help. How it comes, it can come from your pastor, it can come from another third party that neither one of you ever met before.
Right.
But long as the help comes, and that's the point that we got to. It's like we needed help just to get along.
Yeah, because things had gotten so bad for us. The communication was so stagnated because I knew what I wanted and I knew what I didn't want. And Vince was of the mindset, I'm a good guy. And he is.
She got a gym. Yeah.
Y'all.
Why you want to change this?
Listen. This man told me I'm a good man.
Oh.
Do you remember you told me that?
Yeah. Yep.
And I was like, and I am a good woman.
And I still don't deserve to be yelled at.
And he got,
still don't
who you talking to like that?
Not talked to for 2-3 days.
Don't ignore me. Don't bully me emotionally. Because he had to learn how to deal with his emotions.
Yeah.
For him, anger was supposed to be just output.
Yeah.
And whoever was there to receive it, received it. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was a get off of me. You know?
Yeah, it was very, and it was very, almost paralyzing for me because my husband is a really good guy. He is the sweetest guy that I know, honestly. And many people come to me and say, oh, your husband is, he's just a big teddy bear. He's a big guy, but he's so kind and he's so friendly and he's so helpful. And all that is true. And I would often say to my closest friends in my family and pastor at the time, he is the greatest guy, like 98% of the time. But there's this 2% where he just, and it wasn't cursing at me. It was just unkind. It was everything that was bound up in him that he was unable to articulate, that he was unable to put words to, that he was unable to give life to. Yeah. And so when life pressed down on him, that was worse. Am I right about that part?
Well, it was all the life's frustrations, all those things that I kept bottled up, just growing up, stop crying, men don't cry, you gotta act like a man, be tough, take it like a man. And so I did it, and whatever obstacles came up in my life, I took it like a man. I didn't cry, didn't talk about it. And so all those years.
And he didn't care if I cried.
And so when things that came up, that I was agitated about, I didn't like, and I didn't know how to express my emotions because I wasn't used to talking about them. They just blah. And my wife receives so much of that, and I'm even right now I'm just so remorseful. So I tell her that I'm so sorry about the things that I've done and said, the way I acted. I can't believe we wasted so much time, like not talking for days, having a big argument and then kind of like going to our corners and staying there. And I mean, I'm talking about that over time. I know our marriage wasn't like the whole time it was like bad. No. But those times when we had those arguments and we went to our corners, because my wife was just like, you know what, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk, because if we keep talking, we're going to keep fighting. The kids going to hear us. They're going to hear us arguing. So when we went to our separate corners, my mechanism was just not to talk. I shut her out of so much in my life. So all that time, I can't get back. And I urge you right now to recognize, hopefully you hear something what we're talking about, and maybe you see a little bit of the trend that we was going through in our marriage. Maybe you see a little bit in yours if you're going through problems. And if you do, recognize that you cannot get that time back. Don't take it for granted, because yes, we're still married today. I love my wife, but we're married 21 years, and there's some times in that 21 years that's lost to me, just being quiet, shutting up, bottling my feelings, not giving her emotion, not giving her attention, and then letting marriage counseling.
Yeah, and I just want to say that it wasn't, like I said, it was 98% of the time, and someone might say, well, if it's only 2% of the time, then you should just deal with it. Well, that was the exact mindset that I had. But what we both had to come to the realization of is that it was dysfunctional. It was unkind, and his issue never got resolved. And I would go through this cycle of where sometimes I would try to approach him and say, well, what's wrong? I didn't do anything. I would try to change my behavior. And it's not like I'm like this little wallflower. I mean, I'm a pretty outspoken girl. I speak my mind, and and there were times that I would get angry, but I always tried to operate first in love, and then it got to a point where it became like a callus. And then I just got angry.
Yeah.
And that did not work.
She got hard.
You said you're just mean. I was like, are you crazy? I'm mean? I've been putting up with this for so long, and you're going to call me mean?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be real honest, because we said we're going to be real and raw. I got a little out of order because I got tired of it. And I said, you know what? You're changing me. You're changing me, because I keep giving you I keep trying to adjust myself. because I know the guy that I know and love is in there. I know he's in there. I know how kind and beautiful his heart is. But I'm not going to keep dealing with this. No, either you're going to come to a point where we can get it together and move forward, or I'm going to jump ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we found ourselves, we talked about earlier, that point of separation, that point of working it out, who's going to get what. And then at that point, we was like, look, we still have to see each other. We still have to interact with one another for the sake of the children. And we have to learn how to do that without getting to a point where you agree about one thing, I disagree about it, and now we're locking heads. We can't keep getting to that point, especially when we're talking about raising our kids in a separated state. So now we have two separate households, and so you're going to act one way over there, you're going to treat the kids one way over there, I'm going to treat them one way over my house. Anyway, so marriage counseling came into play, and it was a blessing, I guess, in disguise, because like I said before, I didn't want to go to marriage counseling, and one of the ones, like I said, is I didn't really want someone else telling me how to be a husband. I didn't want somebody telling me how to treat my wife. It's my wife, okay? And I'm a grown man, I don't even go to my mom about problems, but the marriage counselor that we went to, and let me tell you this, not all marriage counselors are equal, okay? Because I started with a counselor. Okay. But let's just say sometimes you might have to go to one or two or three to find the right one that's going to work with both of you. You don't
tell them why, baby. Tell them what she told you.
Well, basically, she was telling me that it was her fault. Yeah, it was. Maybe she's. Yeah, maybe I'm right, and maybe she's taking all of this wrong. And I'm like, really? Okay. Even I know that everything I'm doing wasn't right. Even I knew that. I'm not thinking I don't have the degree.
Right.
And when and that particular counselor told me that, I was just like, oh, maybe that's
might not be the right one. Now, a few years prior to that, he might have been like, yeah, she's the right counselor.
Because I didn't want to be right. I wanted to correct this
issue.
Yeah.